Alright, so here are some of the amazing tips on how you can conduct an awesome interview. It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner YouTuber or already an established YouTuber. These tips will help you conduct a compelling, amazing, and an interesting interview. So I recently started a talk show called The Ray Moses Show, and I know most of you guys have already watched it. If you have not yet, I'll leave a link down in the description, and I'll be hosting a couple of content creators, YouTubers, filmmakers, and photographers. So you spoke about jumping from one content to another. Like, what advice do you give like people who are doing that? Like, they jump, today you're doing, let me say, like I do filmmaking, today I'm doing filmmaking, and then the next day I go to gaming, and then the next day I'm speaking about comedy, and then the next day, guys, I'm speaking about like wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling, like, you know.
The next day you're doing fashion.
And then movies. Like,
and the next day you're doing food.
Yeah, what advice would you give such content creators on YouTube?
Find yourself. Find yourself.
Yeah.
Find that one thing. I know you are multi-talented.
Yeah.
But find this one thing that you can do for this channel.
Yeah.
And grow it.
And here are some of the tips that will consistently work and help you conduct an interesting and visually appealing interview whenever you host people in your show. Yoga, everybody, I'm Ray Moses. Tip number 1, make sure your guests are comfortable. You have to try so hard to make sure your guests feel so comfortable. There is nothing so bad like having uncomfortable guests. You will pretty much get bad or a terrible interview because they will be so uncomfortable. And in most cases, people you're interviewing for the first time may not be used to the whole setup of studio lights, camera, and action, of course. Because this can be so intimidating, so it's your role to make your guests to feel so relaxed, smile, and have fun, and just feel themselves to get away with the interview. I mean, to get way much better results. As for me, before an interview, I normally speak with my guests, and I just tell them to relax, to calm down, and just to be themselves, not to worry about the camera, the light, and action. Just to speak out from their heart and just be normal, like a normal conversation. Just like right now I'm speaking with you. We're having a normal conversation. Hi guys. Tip number 2. Oh, not 4. Tip number 2, listen to them. You have to listen to the answers as you are interviewing your guests. You have to listen to them. You don't need to drop a list of questions as they are still explaining the first one. For me, I think it's better to have a list of questions for guidance, but while interviewing your guests, it's better and more natural to ask them a couple of questions and look right into their eyes and listen how they respond. And from their response, you will be able to get more questions, and this will make it look more organic. I mean, you can get a whole lot of details when you do this. And also, in case you want to look through your list later, it's okay, but don't just make them feel like it's an interrogation room. Instead, it's a talk show and it's fun time. I mean, it's just you and your guest having an interaction, and you don't need to inconvenience them there and then because they may end up, getting off track or, just not giving you all the details. So tip number 3, there is nothing worse like an interviewer who asks a question, the guest is answering, and they're busy looking into their phone to see the next question instead of having a face-to-face interaction without disruption. Trust me, the guests will be pretty much bored, and so are the viewers. I mean, you guys viewing, my amazing viewers. Oh, I mean, from any other channel. You need to have fun. You need to have a conversation. An interaction makes them feel so comfortable. It makes them feel like you're the superstar and you're hijacking the whole interview. Instead of letting them just, tell their story and feel free and just express what they're supposed to say. Instead, it makes them feel like you're the guests are the ones interviewing you. So just let them speak, and they will give you the rightful answer, and they will go into details and give you what you want to hear. Hey guys, so take note. You can use a teleprompter to help you display all the questions in front of the camera. So in that instance, you can pretend like you're speaking to the guest, and then you look right into the camera while you're reading the question using the teleprompter. This is something that I've used before, and it's something that is so helpful, and it helps the interview be so natural. It helps the talk show to be so good and just smooth, and it helps both the viewer and the guest not to become bored. So if you've ever used the teleprompter before, leave a comment down below and let me know about your experience using a teleprompter. Thank you. So guys, the next step, don't ask a yes or a no question. I mean, don't ask questions where your guest will have to answer yes or no without expounding it more. Personally, when I'm designing questions, I make sure the guest is able to go in depth rather than just asking a question where they just have to say yes or no. A good example is I would ask my guest, what are some of the challenges that you faced during your filmmaking journey? This way they have to explain to me, they have to expound more instead of just asking a question where they just have to say yes or no. Just before the interview, I normally tell my guests to go in depth and answer the questions more as a normal conversation and not saying yes or no, to make them feel like it's an interview and not an interrogation room. So I would advise you to ask them questions that your amazing guest can easily expound instead of asking questions that they can just say yes or no. In this way, you will not be so bored. And also the amazing viewers will not be so bored. And also the guest, I mean, if you ask questions that the guest can, expound more, instead of asking questions that they can just say yes or no. So when you have yes or no questions, it makes it feel like it's an interrogation room, but instead not an interview room. Thanks so much if you're still watching this amazing video. If this video is adding value to you, could you please consider subscribing to my channel? Click on the notification bell down below to stay updated whenever I upload new content in relation to this. And for my returning subscribers, thank you and I love you so much. So guys, the next step, look at your guests right into their eyes. Don't look at your notebook or your phone as you're asking questions. Instead, look at them right into their eyes. Listen to what they are saying during the interview. And from what they have said, you can, develop good questions that are really engaging and just that are so good as they're speaking to you during the interview. So guys, as an interviewer, one of the tasks that you have to do is to memorize these questions into your head. I mean, into your medulla oblongata. Or if not, you can use a teleprompter, or you wait until the guest finish explaining and then you can look through your paper or your notebook or your phone. And when editing, you can cut off when you're looking, like the parts when you're looking through the phone and through the paper, so that it is just seamless and it flows so smooth, so that the viewer doesn't have to be bored, And take note of this, when asking your amazing guests pretty much the questions, you need to make them feel so comfortable. And how do you make them feel comfortable? By looking right direct into their eyes, by smiling with them, by just having the normal conversation you would have me and you even when we are, we are off the camera. So make sure your guests feel like there is nothing like a big camera, a light setup. You just feel normal, and this will help you get the best out of them. Hey guys, the next tip, have fun. It's a talk show, guys. You need to have fun. Just relax, have fun. It's not a hiking. During hikes, we really do have fun, but it's not an interrogation room. So just have fun, speak with your guests, and just feel free and make them feel at bay by looking through their eyes and smiling and just having a normal conversation. This way you'll have fun and the interview session will be just so beautiful and mwah. So that will help you improve your interview session. So the next tip is something that I love doing so much, and it's doing research. By the time you're hosting your guests, it's always good to do a lot of research, knowing a lot of things about your guests, and this will help you so much. A good example about the Ray Moses Show, where I host a couple of filmmakers, YouTubers, and photographers to discuss their journey and help you guys take one step at a time and be inspired. So before I host most of the guests, let me say a YouTuber, I always do a lot of research, and I know the niche that they are doing, and I know the questions that I can ask in relation to what they're doing, and I know a little bit of their background. And this way it makes it really feel so organic and authentic, and it makes it just feel so nice. Like when you ask your guest something about them and they're like, oh, this guy really knows, or this lady knows what they're speaking about. This makes them feel so comfortable. And so doing a lot of research about your guests will help you to be more direct, and it will help you to formulate your question that you're going to ask your guests. Guys, take notes. One of the ways that I get to know about most of the facts, I do a pre-interview session before the main interview, whereby I just sit down with the guest and then I just pass through some of the questions. So this helps you be more direct when you're asking questions to your amazing guests, and make sure you have all the facts. One of the ways that you can one of the ways that you can get facts is by having a pre-interview session, and this will help you get more details from the guest. And having a pre-interview session helps you prepare and just it helps the guests to be more comfortable and just more relaxed. So sometimes I even go ahead and just send questions to the guests so that they can prepare for the interview. And sometimes, I mean, they just come and then I have a pre-interview session, and it just makes it much easier, you know. And making a pre-production plan, it helps you not to become an idiot. I mean, it would be so funny and you look like an idiot to be in an interview session and, you know, you don't have even the questions to ask the person you're interviewing, I mean your guest. So just do the planning and this will help you not to look like an idiot. How long did it take us like to plan? Maybe from the time, I remember I called you like, was it like, when did I tell you about this project?
I remember you told me you're coming up with this project, but you let me know which day.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I was waiting.
Okay.
So I think it took us like 1 month or 1 month and a half or 2 months around there.
Yeah, so guys, the reason why I'm asking her that question is I want you guys to know that you need to plan. You need to plan in advance. Like you have to plan for your videos. It really helps so much. If you plan, everything moves in like
because you already know what you're going to do, because you told me. I started to prepare myself, then you said, "Oh, sir, I'm still working on it," and I'm like, okay. Then you said we'll meet on 14th, and I'm like, wow, okay, that will be the perfect day. And so many things we were communicating. I would sometimes text you, or you could text me, I have done this and that, so that we are all prepared and to give you something which is beautiful. So as he said, if you want to do any video, kindly prepare so that you can bring out something which is nice and beautiful.
Guys, the next tip, be yourself and be confident. You need to be yourself and confident when asking your guest questions to make it more natural and authentic. You need to be yourself and don't try like acting like someone else. I mean, you just need to be yourself. You don't need to be the new Oprah Winfrey. You don't need to be what's up everybody. So today, you don't need to be a new Peter McKinnon. You just need to be yourself. You need to be Ray Moses. Oh, wait a minute. You don't need to be me. You just need to be yourself. And when you're yourself, you get the best version of yourself. And people will love you for that. People will love you for your authenticity. People will love you for your, self-lawlessness. People will love you for what you are, like your personality. So just be yourself and just do what you do best. So guys, that's it. So during your talk show sessions, try to incorporate some of these tips. I know it's hard to get all of them in. I personally sometimes don't get all of these tips in, but if you try and use at least most of the tips into your next interview session, trust me, you will take it to the next level. You take your production into the next level. So if this video added value to you, could you please consider subscribing to my channel? Click on the notification bell below to stay updated whenever I upload new content in relation to this. Share this video, like this video, and for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the continuous support. I love you so much. Peace. See you in the next video.